Konbanwa, good evening, Pathless. It is I, Loki the Mad Titan, and welcome to episode 30. Episode 30. Episode 30 of the Skyrim. The humming is bugging me out. Of the Skyrim conversion mod, Enderal Forgotten Stories. I tried to come down, I'm like down in a corner, standing on a wall, trying to be as far away from people as humanly possible. Maybe I could have jumped up on the roof over here, so that way I could do my intro, and it still didn't work. We are not where we left off. I decided to go to the city, which is where we are. My sir. This is my first my sir of the episode, and I was just doing my usual...
Now if it isn't my esteemed trade partner. I thought you were still in Duneville.
Hello.
Potion to cure
Well, I was
madness.
until recently.
Wouldn't
do
that
my
be something?
usual in between episode shenanigans, which is mainly just clearing out my inventory, making some potions, selling those potions, buying more ingredients, making more potions, selling those potions, yada yada yada. Super exciting stuff, which is why I do it in between episodes. So that way, like, I now have a pickaxe. Pretty much what I'm wearing. I upgraded to a medium backpack. So this is what I currently have on. I have one cure disease potion and one ambrosia. I mainly did that because I wanted to try to have as much money as possible. There's some scrolls, quest item, keys, and then some other things that are quest items. And I decided to start up this episode while I was doing this because I am inadvertently, even while shopping, progressing storyline stuff. Like, you'll see I have Ironforge's Lute. So I got that loot from the shop over in the marketplace area. I will go back there and show you where I got it from. I saw it. It had a unique name. I didn't realize that was for a quest. And it is 100% for a quest. And I can show you which quest. It is for... I think it bounced it up to the top. This one right here. So, yeah. Goal for Silverman's Assortment's Goods, which could belong to Migo and Ironford. So I didn't even remember that I had that quest. I just saw a uniquely named loot and bought it. And then it's his loot. So that's all I did. We will bring it to him, and I will remind you where I got that from. We are supposed to be going back to Constantine, which we will also do. But I came in here just to peruse this gentleman's wares, Gabor Gaboff, and he's got stuff to talk about, and he wants to talk about Butcher of Ark, so I was excited about that. But I immediately went to his stock. Because I'm not trying to do any of the dialogue stuff. I just want to see their stock. So he's got a knife, whoop-de-doo. Nothing. I mean, that's a pretty cool looking shield. Not going to lie. Take a shot, but not really using shields. So not really my jam. It's got some potions. I can make any and every potion. Alchemy is my strongest thing in Enderal. Some scrolls, a bunch of crafting things, some books, which I've all read all of those, and then some blueprints. But I went all the way down to the crafting. I was just kind of going through just to see. He has a really good variety, and I'm glad I did. Because when I got to the bottom of the list, look at this. What is this? What is this? Excuse me? I can just straight up buy knowledge points? Now, I feel like Mrs. Foyce, one of my guides on this path, did mention something about that, but I've not seen this before. So, unless I'm missing something, like, I feel like I should immediately buy these, right? I mean, they're expensive, but those those are knowledge points. Like I want that though, don't I? I'm gonna buy them. I've been doing really good, very slowly, but in my opinion, really good with. So this is like a special. This book is like a special book too. Techniques of Lorem Waterblade Onslaught Tier 1. Charge at your enemies and makes them stagger, and it costs a memory point. So I'm not going to buy that because that's not really my jam. So this guy is apparently an artist. So you're an artist, you say?
Oh yes, that I am. Painter of the black powder, the fiery moments, one could say. In Nerem I could make a living from that. But in this country, my art is not exactly acknowledged.
You should be a ventriloquist because you can talk without moving your lips. Alright, this is I'm excited about. I found a volume Butcher Art. Could you tell me something about these books? Yes, like where volume 5 is.
The forbidden book? Don't hold it against me, but I'd rather keep quiet about that.
Well, then why was it a dialogue
Maybe
option?
ask that librarian, Marius. He always struck me as the free-spoken type.
Alright, so asking a librarian about books, that makes sense. So you sell artifacts? How the heck do you find them? You don't look much like a crypt crawler to me.
Oh, my friend. If I were to tell you this, what reason would you have for my services? Secret of the trade.
Alright, fair enough. So,
Safe travels.
let's take a look at those consumables now. So, knowledge points. So, I mean, this is 10 right here. $22. I was scared that wasn't gonna work. I'm paranoid now. 23. We're just gonna keep doing it this way. I know it's tedious. 25. 26. 27. I mean, I'm still gonna look for stuff. But why would they? Why would they? I don't know. It's peculiar to me that they would do that. Maybe I was a waste of money. But it's okay. Now, I noticed this too, but apparently I can't do anything with this. This is a pretty cool looking chest. It's got a bloody note and a dagger stuck in it. So let's get out of here. I mainly went in here because it was going to be quieter. If you're new to the channel, dozo yoroshiku onegaishimasu. If you're new to the series, hajime mashite. And if you're a regular, like Mrs. Foyce, like Teresa, like Aluin, and Aluin, I did read all of your... I'm going to go in here so that way we can't hear them. I did read all of that message that you left me, including the information about the 9 divines, except that's not what they're called here. It's the 7... dudes, the 7 dudes. I wanted to come back in here real quick because I realized I do have another quest item in ingredients. Hammerbird eggs. I'm supposed to be saving up 5 hammerbird eggs for that guy, and I have 3 already. So I almost used them to make potions, and then I realized no, don't use them because you need them for that quest.
Quickly! Someone help!
What? What's going on? Who? Who's yelling? Come here quickly. Where? Who is yelling?
Huh.
Oh wait.
An arcanist, aren't you? Well, I hope your name is on the register.
Who killed Fluffy?
The last thing Enderal needs right now are more wild mages on the loose.
Who killed Fluffy? What happened?
Hey, you're an adventurer, aren't you?
Did you
I
kill...
bet you've got a lot of stories to tell.
Did you kill Fluffy? Or did Bello kill Fluffy? Bello, did you... Who killed Fluffy? What, dog murderer? Yeah, what happened? Maria.
Who are you?
Mara, whatever your name is. Who...
One
Which one of you killed Fluffy? You little bastards. Okay, that was very random. You have a fancy sword, sir. You have a fancy, shiny sword. Alright, so I've been to all the shops. Something does happen. What is it, this one? Yeah, something happens.
Oh my, now who is this? To see you here fills me with bliss, 'cause I can tell just from your eyes you search for magical disguise. Well, you can buy such from the stash of Emberlord and Fireflash.
Alright, so this lady is nutso. And you'll see
I've
when I
seen
go into
this
dialogue.
face, so yes, hooray! What can I do for you today?
I've only bartered with her. So, why do you talk in rhyme?
Oh, this one is curious. I'm sad to have to tell you this, even though I'm not furious. My secrets stay in the abyss. Ah, blazes.
Well, that one didn't make a lot of sense.
You're right. I didn't see that question coming, that's all. But how goes the saying, practice makes perfect? Next time I'll be prepared.
I'm not sure I follow. Why the rhyming?
Ah, the business didn't go well in the past moons, that's all. Hardly any travelers or outlanders anymore. And the arcanists of the Order prefer to get their supplies elsewhere since Grand Master Arenthiel has returned. Well, since I have a son to feed, I had to think of something. That tip with the rhyming came from my brother-in-law, Doral. He's with the sickle and came back from a journey to Calais just recently. He said that he visited a lecture from a Chilean merchant there. And he said that in order to be successful nowadays, one needs a, unique selling proposition. Yes, that's how he called it. Something to distinguish him or herself from the competition.
And I take it the poetry is your unique selling proposition?
Correct. I know I'm not the best poet, but I'm sure you'll remember bartering at Emberlord and Fireflash better than with that goat-faced vagabond woman Stonehand down at the market.
Damn. That was business.
How kind of you to ask me this. The trade goes well, I can't complain. Were not my son Mirel amiss. The boy is wicked, it's a pain. From dusk till dawn, I kid you not, he plays and jests with that small brat. Instead of helping in the shop, they chase that girl's idiotic cat. That wicked child, Gaboff's her name, from Ostain her kin arrived. Her father drinks without restraint, the girl's wits too are much deprived.
Okay. So, basically, she just rhymes to be annoying and be memorable. And then there is...
Yes?
the miraculous mixtures down here. Morellas, which is... Isn't that the name of the potion that we're supposed to be making? Morels. Morella. Interesting. So
What is it?
Oh, shush for a second. When you come in here, there's a guard and her arguing. And then I accidentally clicked on the dialogue that progressed that forward, where she's upset about the guard. And then I can say, wait, maybe I can help you.
No, I appreciate your offer, but it would be too dangerous. This would have been a mission for a keeper, but we are too busy polishing their armors.
I like polishing my armor. Believe me, I know how to take care of myself.
Oh my. Well, fine. Who am I to reject a helping hand?
Oh my.
I am missing someone, and I'm not speaking figuratively. My son, my only son.
I'm sorry to hear that. What happened to him?
It's complicated. Have you ever heard of the Brotherhood of Kor?
No.
I see. Then you haven't been in this city for long. The Brotherhood of Kor were pathless ones, heretics as the Order would call them. They demented the divinity of the Lightborn, and instead prayed to some barbaric deity called Kor. Initially, they were ridiculed, but thanks to their leader and his talent to poison lost souls with his ideology, more and more Ark people, especially Sublimes, converted to his cult. And, well, among them was also my son, Rukus. Oh, I don't know where I failed as a mother, I really don't. 4 times a week I took him to the chapel to pray when he was a boy, and I always kept him away from dangerous influences. Girls, boys, you know what I mean. But apparently that wasn't enough. He was one of the first to convert and take those ridiculous vows, even though he wasn't even 20 winters old back then. I suppose there's only so much you can do as a parent.
Sounds like he was trying to get away from you. Did you say he took vows? What kind of vows?
A vow of silence, and please do not ask me what for. It has something to do with the followers of Kor believing language somehow poisons the mind. Some pathless rubbish.
Interesting. I see. And where is this Brotherhood now? This is the first time I've heard of them.
Yes, because the Order, Malthus be praised, banished them from the city. The Kor didn't bother too much, but apparently one of their seers has had some kind of vision only shortly before that happened. She saw an island in the Red Sea near Duneville. So, this is where they went. They built a small settlement there about 5 winters ago, and Rukus went with them.
You haven't heard from your son ever since?
No, nothing. But even so, I wanted to know he was all right, so I paid a myriad warden to, once each moon, fly over the island to see if everything is in order, so to speak. And, well, this is essentially what's troubling me. For 3 weeks, the island has been deserted. No sign of life anywhere.
Uh-oh. And this is why you wanted the Order to see what happened there. Fine, I'll take a look at that island.
Thank you. That means a lot to me. If you could find Rukus, I would be happy to reward your efforts. You see, I just want to know if he's all right. Pathlessness aside, he is still my son. Anyway, best you talk to the myriad warden in the South Quarter. He can take you somewhere close to the island. I will be in my shop.
Started the Brotherhood of Kor. Alright, that's a cool quest. I'm glad that I got that. But I'm not calling them Rukus. I'm going to call them Ruckus. Bring the Ruckus!
It just doesn't work.
Monsieur?
No matter how
My
hard I
sir.
try.
Alright, the library is somewhere around here. Let's go up and then over. Ah, the fat Leoran. Yeah, we had been in there previously. Alright, so
Yes, and there you have the
guess I'm going
promise.
up the
You
sea.
try.
what is this? What's up, buddy?
I'm
Aristocrat.
afraid I do not follow, Master.
Oh my god. Prince is over there, sounded like he was pleasuring himself. Where am I? Am I anywhere? No, somehow I completely missed the library. What is this? Read the bulletin. Looking for a procurer of old things against fancy payment. Visit me in my workshop in the Noble's Quarter near the bathhouse. Okay. Where is the library? Is that it right there?
Wait.
So many strange
She
faces.
said the key to magic is that,
Well,
that
This is the library. Okay. Can I have volume 5 of Butcher of Ark, please, so I can read it? Wait, what's this? What's this? I mean, I'll just steal
Malthus
it.
blessings, monsieur. Are you looking for something to read?
I am, actually. Then maybe. Show me what... Oh, I can buy stuff? I don't have the Butcher of Ark's books with me. I put them away. Because... I didn't think I had to carry them with me anymore.
You name it. I got it.
Okay. I don't know. Looks like I've read most of what you have. I mean, I guess I'll take... the ones I'm missing. But he does not have... Okay. So, show Marius the Butcher of Ark books. Look, I found these in a ruin. What can you tell me about them?
By the, put that away! Are you mad? Don't go around showing these to people like a bloody bouquet.
Why? What's wrong with them? I don't have them to show them. That's the funny part.
Well, apart from the fact that the pathless murderer wrote them, they're forbidden. I once had an idiot of an assistant who had the marvelous idea of buying these on the black market and selling them to intellectuals. Probably thought it'd impress me. Would have gotten us both into the Undercity if I hadn't noticed it before the Order did.
How come they're forbidden? I mean, they're pretty wild.
Well, they haven't always been. You know the story behind them, don't you? At first, the Order reprinted them, thinking it would be a wonderful scare story to keep people on the righteous path. However, that didn't work out as they thought it would. People were fascinated by the story rather than appalled by it, and some even started imitating his crimes. You know, killing criminals for justice. Some bards even wrote songs about the Butcher of Ark, path-abiding on the surface, but full of morbid fascination underneath.
Interesting. So, kind of like Batman. I see. The books were encouraging vigilantism. All right, I see. So that's when the Order forbade them?
After some years, yes. It was Truchessa Notaro del Verum,
God bless
actually,
you.
who issued the decree. Nowadays, owning these books is forbidden and punished by a significant prison sentence, and the Order tries to burn every single issue they get their hands on.
I don't approve of book burning at all. But they haven't destroyed all of them, have they?
Well, if they had, you wouldn't be holding one, my friend, would you?
I didn't write the question. Any idea where I could find the other volumes? Yeah, like at least volume 5.
Blazes, did you listen to a word I said? You're not getting any here if that's what you're asking. Look for them if your life depends on it, but leave me and the other path-abiding merchants out of it. Ah, and you might be careful parading around with these for another reason as well. The Order isn't the only one looking for them. Just some moons ago, the 2 guards protecting the original scripture were murdered and the book taken.
There's an original scripture?
Yes, the one the Butcher of Ark wrote himself. I assume the thieves were hoping it contained the forbidden passage about Jael Tannerson's initiation ritual, but as far as I know, not even the original has it. Well, long story short, you're treading on dangerous ground here. If it's a story you want, I recommend you get yourself something else to read.
Alright, well that didn't really help me. I was hoping for, I don't know, something, a tip. But, no. Is there anybody else here? Is there like an apprentice? An assistant librarian? That's a little bit more into the freaky deaky stuff? No? I mean, I seem to notice that there's a locked, expert locked gate, but what if I can just hip hop my way over here without messing with the gate at all? I mean, I'll steal it if he's got it in like one of his chests up here or something. Take his gallant shoes. I almost accidentally stole the basket. All right. No luck. It's a cool globe. I think I have that recipe. I will be having your vault key, though. Alright. We tried. They didn't really...
Midnight.
Didn't really help
Yes.
us. Help as much as I kind of hoped it would. Alright, what is this over here?
Between darkness and
The Perpetuum Theater. Alright, if we go back down here, this goes back to the market, I believe. Yes. So I'll show you, just since I messed that up too, and I got that dude's loot, I'll be sure to show you where I got the loot from. If you don't recognize the name of the person that I got the loot from, I will show you exactly where I grabbed that. Try to be a little bit more careful in between episodes accidentally.
Hear my words,
Oh
O path
my
of
God.
biting people of this holy city.
This dude,
Yeah? What do you want?
he's the one that had the loot. So if you want to grab the loot, that's where you can get it from. I didn't do anything with my house in between episodes. It's exactly the same. I will play with it eventually, but let's actually go to where we're supposed to be going. We're supposed to be going to Constantine. Let's go to Constantine and actually do
Fruit hungry for
what we're supposed to be doing. Subscribers, last time I looked, we had 202 subscribers. All I ask is, if you're watching this episode and you have not subscribed, if you enjoy any part of it, please do consider subscribing. I did not ask for like over 300 episodes really at all. It was not something I brought up. It's not something I particularly like bringing up, but my watch hours are insane. My watch hours are enough for a completely fully monetized channel with only 202 subscribers. So what that means is the people that watch my channel watch the poop out of it. They really enjoy my content. It's just YouTube wants me to have
A penny, my sir.
1,000
Please,
subscribers
just
for
one
some
penny.
reason. Where does it want me to go? I'm having a hard time.
oh, yummy! Tastes like cherries.
So many strange faces.
Yummy, tastes like cherries.
Sir?
My sir. Alright, looks like I'm going the right way. Please stop it. That's run in Fallout. You're not playing Fallout. And then I play Fallout. And I hit the run for here. It's just, it doesn't seem to matter. Whichever one I'm playing, I hit the wrong button. So we have a lot of like leads on different quests now. We have a couple eggs. I think we got a couple. Oh, that was the other thing. There's the quest that says,
keep walking.
oh, excuse me, flame drink. Look at her face. You're making such a poop face. I also have, I mean, it did bump it up. Why did it bump it up? I don't know why. It like moved it up like I discovered something new. I didn't. Okay, I guess I did. I know there's 10 volumes now. So I did learn something. So we could bring the loot to him. We did that. And I snagged... Where is it? This says rather vaguely, gather Pyrean or Starling objects for the Sky and Gustav. That was the guy down in the Jesus Lord, the Undercity with the my brain's like the bad guys with what's his face? You know, the guy with the face. I swear, my brain gets older. With Thariel, the what is the name of his group? Jesus Lord. The ninjas. Anyway, I got like 2 Starling gyros. Again, it says objects, so I might have some of the things for that too. And it doesn't even say an amount. It's just like gather some vague amount of vague objects. Figure it out on your own. Hoo ha ha. All right, but let's.
Wherever you look, where is this supposed to lead? This is holy ground, Outlander.
Yes,
you don't
you
belong
say that
here.
every
Thy
time.
name is my sacrament, and thy path I will honor, in life as in death.
That guy kind of looked like a vampire. I am also considering becoming a werewolf in this because I keep looking at when you do you wave your hand around in the air like you just don't care, and you go into the magic world where you can upgrade your stats. It's so weird because like I'm so used to Skyrim to get like the different perks and things I need. I think I'm gonna have to be a werewolf. That's because like some of the alchemy perks are in the werewolf perk tree. If that makes any sense. And since I've gone in so deep with
you. Good to see you.
Oh, okay. Good to see you too.
This is holy ground,
Oh my God!
Outlander.
Yes, you say
You
that.
do not belong here.
I know.
What?
I'm here to see Constantine. He's awesome. I don't care about any of the rest of you. I did steal his fork, though. What's up, Constantine?
Now, if it isn't the prodigy, well...
Well, stuff happened. Lashari performed the ritual on me. There were problems in old Rashengrad. Alright, we did all the rest of these.
Yes, I know. She's already told me everything. Good work. Even though part of her report seemed to be a bit enthusiastic. But I'll leave the judgment to Aranthiel. He wants to talk to you anyway. Seems you've caught his interest.
I'm not sure I want to be part of all this. Whatever it is you're searching for, fine. Where can I find him? Tell me again who exactly is this Aranthiel.
Didn't I tell you that already? He's the highly esteemed, holy, grand master of the Order. Tilor Aranthiel, son of Lorius I, praised be his name. An old legend, risen from the dead, or something like that.
Fine, where can I find him?
In the Emporium, the last building on the left side of the temple. Just tell the guard that Aranthiel has asked for you, and they will let you in. Ah yes, before I forget, my dame Lucy has left a token of gratitude for you. It's your choice. Do you want a book, an old map, or a bag of pennies?
Plus 2 LP. LP. What is LP? Learning points. Yes. Yes.
Very well. Now get a move on. I'm sure we'll talk again later.
All right. 2 learning points. Sweet. So do I have to eat the book to get the learning points? Is that what we're doing? That better have given me the learning points. Yes. Okay. Woo! So there's my stats again if you want to see them. I have to hit the H button for some bizarre reason to bring that up. Excuse me. Alright, so I guess we'll go talk to Aranthiel, and then we will figure out if we're going to not do whatever it is he wants me to do, and then...
This is holy ground, Outlander.
Oh my God.
You do not belong here.
That we've hopefully progressed enough with the main quest that... How do I get in there? Where's the door?
Oh.
that I can kind of deviate a little bit and just go exploring.
Well met.
Ooh, you look... Okay, I'm just going in. She had a prune face. Alright. Where is he?
It is a suspicion, Teela. And to send an entire division across the sea because of a suspicion is madness.
We need to find out who sent the mercenaries.
Have you heard? Apparently the
This
Blue Islands
Pegas
Coalition
said
sent an
that they
emissary
were
here to
after the
Enderal.
Signet Stone, and if they
Despite the
succeed
wars.
in getting hold of it
They
next
are
time,
bold. You
then
gotta
the
give
Black
them that.
Guardian alone knows how to stop the cycle.
The cycle. Listening to you talk almost makes me forget that all this fuss here is merely based on some bad dreams you and your Neremese friends had.
The threat is real. Deny it as much as you like, but deep inside, you feel it as much as I do.
Teela, you're a commander, and a commander doesn't care about feelings, but about facts. You have made this mistake before, Teela, back then in Kira. And we all
Natara,
know
the mission will happen. I'm sorry.
you have a visitor.
What's up? You got some scars on your face there, buckaroo. What were you fighting?
So, you are the prodigy everyone is talking about. Interesting.
I was trying to hop on your table some
I
more.
am Teela Aranthia, son of Larius I and Grandmaster of the Order, and I'm honored to meet you. What is your name?
I am Odinson, son of Odin, and drinker of Mountain Dew. But not regular flavor Mountain Dew. Like, I had Code Red earlier today while I was doing 50 Ways to Die Dr. Nick, and now I'm drinking Flaming Hot, because one of my cans of Flaming Hot went bad. I drank it anyway, but it did not taste right.
Yes, and I will come straight to the point. You are here because I believe that you are special.
Ooh, thank you.
Humanity faces a threat that needs to be stopped, and to achieve this, you are indispensable.
You're talking about the Red Madness, aren't you?
Among other things, yes. I do not need to explain to you that the present situation on Vin is chaotic. The wars, the living dead, common people who are losing their minds, to name only the most obvious. What most people are not aware of is the connection between these events. You, however, have encountered it, as have I.
The visions. So you know where they come from?
I do. And I will explain everything to you. What it means, who we are,
Ooh.
and what your part in all of this is. Come, follow me. Maybe you already know who I am. My entire life, I served the gods who ruled Vin, until their death 2 years ago. What you probably do not...
This didn't say it was stealing.
know is that the one responsible for their death is my son.
Your son?
Narazul Aranthial. He hated the Lightborn because he believed that they robbed mankind of their...
Alright, well why is that one stealing?
...to freedom, so he strived to overthrow them. He found followers, formed an army and declared war on them, and thus on me, a servant of the Lightborn as well. It all ended in a battle 30 years ago, which Narazul won. He killed every single survivor except for me, and locked me in a dungeon on Nerim. I still do not know why he spared me.
'Cause you're his papa. But you managed to free yourself. Is Narazel was your son, and why did he hate the gods so much? Shouldn't he have been, I don't know, devoted to them? So the Lightborn are really dead. If you, the Order of Gods, acknowledge that fact, why do people not know about it?
Good question. Because at the moment stability is the highest good, even more so considering what we are facing. The rulers of Kira and Kile both made the mistake to acknowledge the death of the gods to their people, and the civil wars that followed in their countries are evidence of the chaos that such a revelation entails.
Enderal is the cradle of the Order of the Gods, the epitome of theocracy. It is unthinkable what would happen if we confirmed these rumors. I am sure you understand this. Maybe when all this is over that will change, but for now it is imperative that we deny all rumors of that kind.
I get it, but I mean, it's like, it feels like the whole, government's hiding things from us conspiracy theory, which, I don't know that it is even that much of a conspiracy theory, because I truly do believe I'm sure there's tons of stuff that they don't tell us for various different reasons, and they probably have all kinds of rationale for why not to do it. But like a silly example, alien stuff, right? There's been a ton in like the past year or two that have come out about, like, specifically from the United States government, about aliens being real and having been recorded being here and this and that, and it barely like even tickled the news cycle at all, and nobody's heads exploded or anything like that. I don't know. All right.
There were circumstances favoring the development, but it's a long story which we won't discuss now.
All right, but you managed to free yourself.
Yes, after more than 30 years, when the death of the gods made the magic around the prison disappear. And during my escape in the northern mountains of Nerim, I also had them for the first time. The dreams.
We're done. Now I'm just following you? I liked you walking and talking with me. Alright, am I allowed to steal stuff from here? Because I'm confused, because some stuff seemed like it was okay to take, and other stuff, like, hopefully he's just going to wait out there for me. He's not just, like, talking to nobody. That would be silly. Like, I don't need any of this, because I've read all these. I could take the potion, I guess. Doesn't say stealing. I say that dude that was standing on me, he just walked away. He is nonplussed. He does not care. I am more interested in robbing this place than anything else. The only problem is, when I'm looking at the books directly like that, I don't know if I have these ones or not. Are they worth anything? Yeah, it doesn't say steal. It says take. Alright, these ones are broken, apparently. That's annoying. So I was being silly jumping around on the table, but I can have these books, apparently. Old butcher's knife. It's not worth anything. I'm tempted to take it just because it's called a butcher's knife. So what you doing? You just looking at these scrolls? Trying to figure out something to do with them scrolls? Can I have this potion? It's rancid. Any cool books in here? Do I have all the books already somehow? Like, why is that one amethyst stealing, but nothing else is? Yeah, who lives upstairs? I have all these books already. I could be taking them and to sell them, but I really I really mainly want books I don't already have. Wait, was that silver ore? Iron ore? I'll take it. Ooh. Oh, it's empty. Ooh, that's a basement. Is it a murder basement? Alright, we'll go outside and follow him in a second. He has all of the knowledge and information. Apparently. He's going to tell me everything. Who my mommy and daddy are. Ledgers. Alright. I mean, since we're allowed to take stuff from here, I could come back. See what else he has to say.
I always saw the same glaring, terrible light. Heard screaming, and I felt like I was burning up from the inside. And above all, like a veil, there was the knowledge of imminence. At first, of course, I dismissed these dreams as the delusion of a man close to death. So I concentrated on making it through the mountains somehow. 2 days after my escape, I was completely exhausted, and I would have died if a former acolyte of my son had not found me.
An acolyte of your son, but weren't they your enemies then?
Yes, but he did not recognize me, and brought me to their headquarters instead.
Where are you going?
An old monastery in the mountains. The others were aware of my identity, but for whatever reason they did not kill me. Maybe because they thought that the death of the Lightborn had made me insignificant. I do not know. Still,
keep walking.
Even after my recovery, the dreams continued. At first, I doubted my sanity, but after some time I told the leader of the mages, Constantine, about them. And he said something that I'd never expected. I was not alone. He, as well as many others magically gifted on Vin, dreamed the same dreams. And the more we talked about the matter, the stronger our suspicion grew, which has now turned out to be the truth.
I like how your legs clip through the
Outlander.
stairs.
What are you doing in this part of the city? Shouldn't you be, I don't know, somewhere else?
Shut up, snooty face. I'm talking to this dude over here, T-Lor Arenthal.
The dreams. They come from the same place. They are a shared memory.
A shared memory? You mean the dreams originate from a what? A common mind?
A collective subconscious, yes. I know that you can feel it too, and probably far more intense than we do. But like you back then, we were not able to make sense of the images. So we went looking for answers in the remains of the civilization that was before us, the Pyreans.
Thus excavations, like Old Rashingrad. What did you find out?
3 things. First, there were many civilizations before us, and before the Pyreans. Maybe hundreds, maybe thousands. Second, the history of each civilization unfolded and still unfolds according to a pattern. They emerge, they blossom, and at some point, at the apex of their existence, they simply disappear without any trace. And third, everything that has happened in the past years, and which is still happening, indicates that this disappearance lies ahead of us. We are part of an eternal loop, a cycle, and our cycle is approaching its end.
Alright, so this is like Wheel of Time by Robert Jordan. Hundreds of prophets have predicted the end of the world, and it never happened. I admit, this world has seen brighter days, but isn't it a little too much of a leap? You mean the end of humanity lies ahead? A pattern, you mean the chronicles each civilization are identical? So this is your explanation for the Red Madness, the wars?
Not identical, but one can split them up into episodes which repeat themselves in the very same manner, into patterns. Yes, dramatically put, they're the envoys of the end.
Alright, so I feel like the choices here is important. It's like he's gonna... Oh, I'm just gonna go with this one. You mean the end of humanity lies ahead?
Yes, it does. At first we considered it absurd, as probably you do at this moment. But there came a moment when we simply could not deny it anymore. We began to study the history of the Pyreans more intensely, and the parallels were extraordinary. In its early days, the Pyrean Empire was split up by a disaster, just like Vin was split up by the Starfall after the reign of the Eterna. Also, the Pyreans had a ruling caste who declared themselves gods after the catastrophe. The two castes of the Sun Priest. They, too, ruled until they were overthrown. This overthrowing was followed by an outbreak of wars and chaos. And then, just like that, the Pyreans ceased to exist. They knew it was imminent, but they could not prevent it. They called this event the Cleansing.
Okay, super interesting. The Pyreans knew about the threat. Why didn't they try to do something about it? Maybe they did, but we don't know. How in the blazes can an entire civilization just disappear?
They tried, but they failed. Who knows why? Maybe they found out too late, or maybe they were too weak.
Maybe they needed an Elder Scroll. How in the blazes can an entire civilization just disappear?
That is the question we need to find an answer to. The end was not violent, at least not in a sense as we know it. There was no natural disaster, no magical explosion, no plague. Even though there was war in the Pyrean Empire before its ruin, when the cleansing happened, it was as if all living beings simply fell down and died. It is ghastly.
That's pretty wild. Okay, where do I come in? Where do these visions and my powers come from?
Well, this is the reason why we need your help. Not only episodes of history recur within every cycle, characters do as well.
Am I Superman? Characters reoccur?
Yes, the Pyreans call them the emissaries. They emerge very shortly before the cleansing occurs, like a law of nature, an answer to the Red Madness. And I am one of them, as are you.
Is that why you have a cape?
While I take on the role of the ruler, you take on the role of the prophet.
I'm supposed to be a prophet? Yeah, I mean, what now?
It's just a description. Call it what you will. But without doubt, it is the truth. Your story matches the descriptions perfectly.
And I take it this is the reason the Nemri's mages are here, isn't it? Firespark, Pegast, She-Ra. Why of all people be? If I play a role, does that mean that something is controlling me, controlling us? I like that question.
No. As I already said, the emissaries simply appear at the beginning of the end, like pieces on a chessboard. We are determined by our skills. How and to what end we use them is our choice.
Alright, well I want to be the queen then, because that's the best piece on the chessboard. Or maybe, if you want to, be smarty pants, you could say a pawn or a queen, because a pawn can become a queen. But anyway, why me of all people? We'll do all the options.
Yes. Former enemies or not, both sides have understood the magnitude of the threat. The magical knowledge of Narazul's former mages is vast, as is the power of the Holy Order. Even though not all of the Keepers agree, as you probably have already noted yourself. I do not know. Firespark the Mage has told me your story, and even though your fate is tragic, unlike me, you were insignificant before your change. So maybe everyone can become an emissary, or we simply have not understood the pattern yet.
And what defines this prophet?
On the one hand, your power. You carry the potential to master any skill within a fraction of the usual time needed. I assume you have already realized this. On the other hand, your ability to look into the past, and therefore into the future.
Into the past and therefore into the future? What do you mean?
Your visions are a window into the past. And as every cycle is based on the same events, it is a window into the future as well. You can feel the thread this world is woven with. And because of that, you can see things that have happened, and thus will happen again. This gift makes you indispensable to us, and it is why I want your help.
So I want to deviate slightly from the intensity and intricacy of this conversation, because this is awesome, to talk about the voice actor for T-Lore here. T-Lore Arenthel. I love this voice actor. It's like a perfect combination of, like, sounds like a wise older man. It kind of makes me think of Michael Caine a little bit. But there's a little tiny little tiny bit of a lisp. I think that's what it was. I was jumping ahead in my thoughts. That I like to adds a sort of softness to the character. It makes it likable. Amazing voice acting. I love it. I'm really being drawn into this. And if all this doesn't interest me, yeah, I'm just like, yeah, I'm just gonna. The world's gonna end. I'm gonna go play, some card games in the bar down there. Why do you think we can overcome this cycle in the first place, as 100 civilizations have failed? That's a good question.
That is the wrong question. The correct question is, what alternative do we have? To wait and die?
I mean, no. I mean, I don't know. It almost feels like if all these other civilizations have gone through the same thing. Again, playing with the wheel of time idea. So you want to break the wheel. You want to end the cycle. But nobody else has been able to do it. So what makes you think? How much hubris do you have to think that you or your people or your world, you're special enough to be able to do it when all those other ones were not? What makes you special and unique? Alright, I don't like either one of these because it's silly. If all this doesn't interest me, how could it not interest you? And what's in it for me if I help you? You're not dying? This is not a decision I want to make based on a gut feeling. Give me some time. I mean, ultimately, we're going to help them no matter what. So why wait? Alright, if I can help, I will try to do so.
Good. However, there's one more thing before the actual work begins. I want you to join our order, and to do so, you have
serious,
to pass
bro?
a test. A trial.
Join your order is, I mean, yeah, seriously, is that really necessary? You're like, listen, the world's ending, and I want your help. But you have to join our order first.
It is. Whatever you think about our story, we are the only faction that is strong enough to oppose the cycle. If you want to be part of our mission, you need to have access to our knowledge and resources. There will be voices in the Order speaking against your admission, as they are speaking against the presence of the Neremese mages. Consider it an honor or a necessity. It is up to you.
Well, it's definitely going to be a necessity, not an honor. And, I mean, I get what he's saying, but again, I am struck by the idea of just the arrogance of thinking that we're going to be the ones to do it somehow, like, and specifically, I mean, you already got beat by your son. So, what makes you think you can stop the cycle of destruction? What kind of test?
It is the trial the novices have to pass in order to be exalted to the role of a keeper. Only the best students of the Squalor are allowed admission, and even though you have not been a novice, I want you to take it too. At this very moment, 2 novices are on their way to the testing grounds. I have informed them about your arrival.
Who are the two novices? You've already informed them. How could you know? I agree, because that's because the mod author or game maker, because this is basically pretty much its own game, knew that we would have to do this to progress the story.
I have only a slight acquaintance with them. However, I know that they are both very talented and have been working hard toward the test. But see them for yourself. I had a hunch. Let us leave it at that.
Very well. Where can I find them?
At the border to the Heartland, near the Whisper Wood. They will be waiting for you there. Take the Myret, talk to Signet Master Bartar, and hand him this package. And then follow his orders. Ah, one more thing. It might be self-evident, but keep your knowledge about the death of the Lightborn to yourself. I do not believe you can do any real harm, but in the worst case, path-abiding people will consider you a heretic. After the cycle has been stopped, we will deliberate upon how we deal with the matter, if and how we tell our people about it. But not now, that is for sure. Now, leave. The sooner we can dispense with this formality, the better.
Alright. Part of something momentous, part 2. I kind of want to jump off here. Can I? Is there a visible wall? Nah, there's an invisible wall, damn. Alright, we don't have a lot of time left. That's not where the quests are. Every freaking episode, that's not where the quests are. So, I mean, we can do something basic. Bring the loot to the dude. That shouldn't be too difficult to do. Alright, see ya. I mean, once I become a member, I guess I could probably steal more stuff. I mean, borrow borrow more stuff.
Is it now? Remind me not to burst into tears.
I don't know who said that. I don't even remember getting this loot mission, to be honest with you.
My Sir de Luna, and I fell for it. Well, seems the Grandmaster is crazy for you, so
This
who
is
am I
Holy
to
Grand,
question his judgment?
You do not belong here.
You did fall for it. It wasn't my idea, though. That was Jaspar. The Ralim? Is that what they were called? It's like RH. Who are you?
Now look at that. It's the Prodigy. Huh?
How did you end up in Narazel Aranathal's order?
Now look at that. Someone who's actually interested in us as people, rather than in our knowledge about the Pyreans. But it's your lucky day. I really wouldn't mind a good talk right now. Hold on a second. Arizalian Brandy. Vintage 8214. What do you say? A glass and a good talk? There are a couple of things I wanted to ask you anyway.
Sounds good to me.
Alright then.
Okay, now we're... wasn't expecting to be teleported somewhere, but here we go.
When I hear you say that, I don't regret for a second that I never came back to Ostian. Even though I've thought about it from time to time.
You're from Ostian? You look more like a Skarag to me.
Wow. Finally, someone who says it up front. Yeah, I've got some Skarag blood in me, though comparably little in regards to how much it shows. My grandfather, he used to serve in the South Realms Marines. And one day they captured a ship of Skarag raiders, some of them women. Stories say he fell in love with one of them, and yeah, you can connect the dots. But to answer your original question, yes, I'm from Ostian. Though we fled the city around 10 years ago. The right choice, as I probably don't need to tell you. The temple was always a bunch of fanatical fuckheads, but that bastard High Priest Janus gave the word butcher an entirely new meaning.
One more thing about your ancestry. Do you know anything more about the woman your grandfather fell in love with? That's not an everyday story.
I know, and nah, I hardly know anything about her. Only that they were raiders and that she fled about 2 years after giving birth to me. Poor Grandpa. You should have seen how people reacted to the way I looked. Even as a kid, they always looked at me and my almond-shaped eyes as if they were expecting me to pull out a skull fetish any second and start putting curses on anyone in the vicinity.
Well, the Creator's religion was always brutal in its core. Janus only did what the High Priest before him had done too many qualms about. Honestly, I'm not too surprised about what Janus did. Give someone too much power and they show the real face. Yeah, we're going with that one.
Maybe. Warriors of the Creator. War against the infidels. The Creator's children don't even sugarcoat how radical their faith is anymore. And still, so many people join their ranks. It's fucking insane. But then again, I guess that's religion for you. Don't think for yourself anymore. Let someone else do it for you. At least it was for my brother.
You have a brother?
I had. He was about 15 years older than me, and was always a troubled child. Rakul. That was his name. You know, my family was very wealthy before we fled. Drapers for generations. The best in Ostium. I suppose that's why my father expected so much from Rakul, since I, as a woman, wouldn't have been allowed to take over the business when my father would have retired. But Rakul, he just wasn't made out for it, you know? He was shy and introverted, and never had a hand for money. I can't remember how often father told him that he was a disgrace to the family.
What a good daddy. And then he found his faith and joined the Creator's children?
You can call it that, yes. Looking back, I think the temple only gave him what father wouldn't. A perspective. The feeling of being needed. He spent almost all of his time in the temple after his conversion, and knew the entire Rania, their holy scripture, by heart. Well, and one day, he announced that simply attending the masses wasn't enough anymore. He would join the temple's warriors.
Sounds like your father miserably failed as a parent. Neglected young men without perspective in their lives. The number one choice of any hate monger. Ooh, okay.
Damn right. That's what these bastards do. They exploit the vulnerability of people like him and indoctrinate them with their fucking bullshit. And once that's done, they send them to fight for their holy causes. In other words, their own interests, like pawns on a chessboard.
Ooh, more chess.
And if they die, then they call it a fucking honor. I'm sorry, my dame. Your youngest son just died. But don't worry, he's in a better place now, eating grapes and drinking honey. What solace, isn't it? Now, do you have any other neglected children for us? We're running short on material. Damn it, I hate those bastards. I just hate them so much.
I mean, we don't have to talk about this. And I suppose that's what happened to your brother, too. He died fighting for the Creator.
He was slaughtered, hacked into pieces by Chancellor Baratheon's cavalry. That was before the peace treaty. I'd be surprised if they taught him what end of a lance to stab with before they sent him into the field. But, well, I guess that answers the question you asked me up in the temple, doesn't it? I was sick of seeing people using religion for their own ends. Creator, Lightborn, the Great Spirit. Same shit, different name. And you know what? No matter how much chaos the death of the gods caused, I don't regret being a part of it, not in the least. It was the right thing to do.
Quite the story.
Anyway, I'd say we call it quits for now, okay? It was good talking to you, but I'm dying for a nap. Take care.
Alright, enjoy your nap. Thanks for coming to this noisy bar and hanging out with me. I got a loot to deliver. So where are we? In the the fat Leorans.
Midnight. Between cobblestone and excretion. Between darkness and light.
Is he always out here?
Advance the fleet!
Yes? Have you been to the island?
Always forward! Forward for the glory and honor!
Well, there comes a point when you just have to live with it.
Well, there comes a point where you just have to live with it. Why is it so gray? It must be like almost nighttime or something. I feel like I'm in Windhelm. We got that really chill guitar riff in the background.
Walk blessed.
Walk? I'm not imitating that
They
accent.
just sit on their asses and hope
Walk
things
left.
settle
They
themselves.
always
go too easy on the scum.
Yeah, maybe when I bring this dude his loot, I'll remember the quest. Because, like I said, right now I don't. So, talking to,
Yes?
Talking to, that guy.
Mm-hmm.
Aranthiel. Very interesting.
Some shifts never end.
Very interesting. Hey! What's up, buddy?
Hmm?
I hope
Show Bella Iron Force loot. Any chance this has to do with your anger? Why does it sound like I'm trying to piss him off?
That? By Malthus, where did you get that? You didn't buy it from that cutthroat, did you? Please, let me see it. I need to know it's real.
On second thought, I think I'll keep it for myself. Only if you tell me what all this is about in return.
Aye, of course. By the name of the sun, yes, that's hers. And Vera was right. I don't know why you're doing this, but thank you. This really means a lot.
You're welcome. Who is Bella, your companion?
What? No, Bella, she was my daughter. She left us one moon's turn and a day ago now.
I'm sorry to hear that. What happened to her? That's a deeply personal question. Hey, look, here's your dead daughter's loot back. By the way, how did she die?
Flesh maggots.
Oh, God.
A week before we found out, she had met this young man, you know? Oh, you should have seen her. There was so much life in her, so much joy. And then, all of a sudden... No, it just isn't fair.
It's always the flesh maggots. My condolences. For what it's worth, I've lost a good friend as well, not too long ago.
You did? I'm sorry to hear that. She was a poet, you know? She could play the lute and sing like no other. And she even taught herself how to write. Vera, my companion, and I, we thought she would one day travel through the lands and become a bard. What am I saying? I'm sure you have better things to do than listen to me grieving. But, in case you want to know how her lute ended up in that bastard's hands, we had debts. And only 3 weeks after Bella left us, a Duneville caravan that carried a year's load of iron for us got robbed. But of course, neither that nor our loss made any difference to that cutthroat golfer, and he threatened to get me thrown into jail if I wouldn't pay by the first day of Star Summer Night. Well, I suppose you can connect the dots for yourself. The loot was precious, and we didn't have a choice. But still, it felt like selling a part of her. And until now, we had nothing left of her, save for the casket.
Doing a lot of connecting the dots this episode. They like using that turn of phrase. You can keep the loot if you want to. It's a present.
Yes, that's very generous of you, really. Thank you.
Yeah, why am I asking about a casket now? This conversation's very odd.
Her treasure chest, that's what she called it. She kept her songs and poems in there, and she would never show anything to anyone unless she considered it perfect. You know how poets are. And now she's gone, and only she knows how to open the casket.
But you're a locksmith, aren't you? You should know how to get it open, too.
Aye, I should. But the casket was a present I made for her myself, and I made the lock special. It's a complicated mechanism, but simply put, there are 4 bolts that need to be pushed in a certain order, and only then will it open. Of course, I could smash it, but who knows what would happen to her things. If I somehow destroyed them, I would never forgive myself.
I see, and that inscription, that carving on the back of the lute, that has something to do with how to open the casket, right? A different type of casket. When I'm seeing casket, I'm thinking, the burial casket, not like a little treasure chest.
Yes, left, right, left, down. But that's not all. The bolts have to be pushed 12 times.
That's a lot of times. So you're missing 8 hints. Do you know if your daughter left more clues about them somewhere else?
Aye, I'm quite sure she did. Vera and I have ideas as to where, but at the moment I can't afford to spend a single day without work. Look, you were very generous to me.
Lay it on me, brother.
I know it's a lot to ask for, but do you think you could help us find the other hints?
Yes, absolutely. I'm not saying that.
Ah, thank you. I'm not asking this lightly, but you seem like a good fellow, and that is rare these days. Bella loved this book of poetry, The Red Ballads, and there was one particular edition she always rented from the Ark Library. I hardly have any coin left to borrow it, but I'm almost sure she left a hint there.
All right. I see. What about the last one?
Aye, there was a place Bella always visited when she had spare time. She worked on her poems there, I think. It's not far from the harbour. Do you have a map? There. If she left another clue, it must have been there. Thank you. I mean it. I will pray for you.
All right. Well, that I think was cool. I'm glad that I did that. And we will continue with that quest unless I'm explicitly told by Mrs. Voice or Lute or somebody not to. I got a little disoriented. Now I know which way I'm going. I figure we'll go to my house.
Good evening.
And we will save it there.
Monsieur?
My sir. And, then we can start the next episode and pick up right where we left off here.
Huh? Can I help you?
So while I'm jumping into my house, because it's nighttime anyway, so that way I could save and it will be daytime when we start off. Here we are in Foyce Manor. With my really bright window and my nothing. This has been episode 30. And this will be great because I'll be able to start the episode in here and there's nobody talking. This has been episode 30 of the Skyrim conversion mod Enderal Forgotten Stories. I am Loki the Mad Titan. With all that being said, I bid you adieu, goodbye, and good night, Pathless. Thank you so very much for watching. Have a good night.